Ladies and gentlemen, India vows to become the third largest economy by 2027. In less than 24 hours from now, we will aim for the moon as Chandrayaan-3 takes off. Chants of Jai Hind resonate from Washington to Paris as the Prime Minister now headed to Paris and meeting the big guns there with a fly past of the Rafales on the cards. But watch the plight of our nation's capital city. We were promised the beauty of Venice by the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, but are today drowning in the cesspool of negligence. People like you and me are wading through water to make a living, while those whom we voted to power today live in tall ivory towers. Today on the NewsHour, we do a fact check for Arvind Kejriwal's government. We show you what was promised to us and what was delivered. While we are paid, let's take a look at the promises versus the delivery scorecard of the Aam Aadmi Party Sarkar.
आज आपकी दिल्ली अमेरिका को पीछे छोड़ रही है, लंदन को पीछे छोड़ रही है, बड़े बड़े देशों को पीछे छोड़ती जा रही है। पूरे दिल्ली में हम 380 झीलें बना रहे हैं, लेक्स। दिल्ली धीरे धीरे झीलों का शहर कहलाएगा। इन झीलों में मैं कई झीलों पे होके आया। वाटर टेबल का 5 मीटर पानी ऊपर आ गया है। अब मुझे लगता है वहां पानी की दिक्कत ही नहीं होगी।
380 lakes were promised, yes, and today you can't make out the difference where one lake begins and the other ends, because whole of Delhi is a lake. While we are paying the price for nature's fury and civic apathy, those who rule in our name live in the opulent Sheesh Mahal, built at the cost of 53 crore rupees, unveiled and exposed on your channel Times Now. 3 floors of Dior marble, Persian carpets and swimming pools and saunas, what have you, made on tax money. Do they deserve this luxury, and do we deserve this deluge? Just watch this.
हम जायजा लेने के लिए पहुंचे शीश महल के पास। जी हाँ, शीश महल तो आपको याद होगा, ये वही शीश महल है जिसमें दिल्ली के आम मुख्यमंत्री, जो कि खास महल में रहते हैं, जिसे टाइम्स नाउ नव भारत ने दिखाया था कि ये शीश महल जिसमें लाखों के 9 से 10 लाख के पर्दे लगाए गए हैं, लाखों रुपए टाइल्स पर खर्च किए गए हैं, किचन की फिटिंग हो या बाथरूम की फिटिंग हो, लाखों करोड़ों रुपए जो है खर्च किए गए हैं दिल्ली के आम मुख्यमंत्री के रहने के लिए। तो सिविल लाइन में ही सीएम आवास पड़ता है, तो क्या इस शीश महल के पास भी पानी भरा या नहीं, इसका जायजा लेने के लिए हम सड़कों पर पहुंचे। तो जाहिर सी बात है, शीश महल है और इसमें दिल्ली के आम मुख्यमंत्री रहते हैं, तो यहाँ तो पानी नहीं भरा है, जल भराव नहीं हुआ है, और अंदर आराम से शायद दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल रहते होंगे, जिन्होंने दिल्ली वासियों को वादा किया था कि वो दिल्ली को पेरिस बनाएंगे, दिल्ली को जो है वो लंदन की तरह बनाएंगे। लेकिन दिल्ली के आज हालात क्या है, क्या सड़कों के हालत है, वो हम लगातार आपको दिखा रहे हैं।
Well, the rest of civil lines, that's the look that you get in the rest of civil lines. But of course, the Sheesh Mahal stands tall, absolutely unaffected by all the flooding in the neighboring areas. I know of senior advocates who haven't been able to go to the Supreme Court just because roads were flooded and the entire route was waterlogged. But of course, it didn't touch the Sheesh Mahal. The anger on the roads, which now look like rivers, is palpable. And people on the streets asking, is this what we voted you in power for? Are people the priority for our netas? Here's some of these voices of anger and justifiable anguish.
हमारी 67 ईयर्स की उम्र हो गई है, आज तक हमें ये जो पहली बार देखा है।
टाइम हमारी मार्केट के अंदर 10 फीट से ऊपर पानी है। हमारी सारी दुकानें सब पानी के अंदर हैं इस टाइम, और सबका माल खत्म हो चुका है क्योंकि सब कपड़े का काम है।
कोई एडवाइजरी जारी करते, कुछ आते बताते पानी का लेवल इतना बढ़ेगा।
अरे पानी घर घर में पहुंचा रखा अब तो केजरीवाल जी ने, किसको चिंता है बताओ तो।
वहाँ सब सारा सामान उसी में चुकी है, मैं कुछ नहीं निकाल पाए। ये कुछ नहीं, यही बनियान पहने यही है।
पूरा सामान मैंने बह गया, मेरे बच्चे लोग भूखे रहे, खाने पीने कुछ नहीं है।
जैसे वो सरकारी वो खाते हैं ना सांड, देखो ये रोटी है कोई है, रोटी भी ऐसे मारो सर में और निकल जा खून।
So the legitimate question we are asking on the NewsHour tonight, is this a mockery of people's mandate? That's the question and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
Number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining me on the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Abhishek Dutt, Congress leader, Dilip Cherian, image guru, Anulal, founder, Yoga Smith, Dr. Akashdeep Muni, political analyst, supports the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's see what he has to say today. Sanjeev Kaushik also supports the Aam Aadmi Party. Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst, also joining the debate tonight. And my first question, Shehzad Poonawala. Why did the Prime Minister or the Home Minister not save Delhi? Because Mr. Arvind Kejriwal wrote a letter to the centre. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, in fact, said that he couldn't have ever imagined that this would be the kind of water that would come into India. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has got control of the MCD just a few months ago, so you can't expect him to do all the jobs. But what I cannot understand is, how come the rest of civil lines was flooded while not a drop of water managed to come anywhere close to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal's plush bungalow, the Chief Minister's Sheesh Mahal on civil lines? What do you think is the reason for all this?
Navika ji, today let me admit candidly on your show at 9 PM, ये सब कुछ मोदी जी करवा रहे हैं. Today it is not Kejriwal's fault. We can't blame Kejriwal. You either blame Modi ji, blame Amit Shah ji, or you blame nature. But don't blame Mr. Kejriwal. Kejriwal ji is an IITian. He does not know that barrage does not store water. Dams store water. Barrage has to divert the water. And this man says that hold the water in the barrage. Now if that barrage explodes and entire Delhi is flooded, no problem. And that barrage sends water to one of the water treatment plants in Hyderpur. If that water stops there, then anyways one water treatment plant is not giving water, then people of Delhi will have water all around but nothing to drink. But he's from IIT Delhi. Therefore, Mr. Kejriwal rejected the 2018 proposal of IIT Delhi to make a drainage master plan. But don't blame Mr. Kejriwal. How can you blame Mr. Kejriwal? Even if he has MCD, and he had said in MCD, if we come to power, 1 week we will do the entire desilting, and now only 55% has been done. Last time when BJP was there, 100% was done by June 2022. Don't blame Mr. Kejriwal. There are 1,000 pumps with the MCD which BJP had brought when it was in the MCD. None of them were deployed in the last 72 hours before the water reached from the barrage to Delhi. But don't blame Mr. Kejriwal. He said that in 2021 we will have a world-class drainage system. We will make Delhi into a land of lakes. But he has not done that. Don't blame Mr. Kejriwal. Whom do you have to blame? You have to blame Mr. Modi. And then look, he says that Haryana is sending the water here. Now he doesn't know that the water that comes into the barrage comes from Himachal, and from Bhakra, the Punjab people are leaving the water. He has not told them to stop the water. He has told Haryana and Mr. Modi to stop the water. Mr. Amit Shah has to stop the water. So I would request you, don't ask Mr. Kejriwal why Yamuna has not been cleaned despite 2,400 crores being spent. Don't ask Mr. Kejriwal that why the main sewer lines, including Okla Kilokari, has not been cleaned, why Najafgarh drain has not been clean. These are not questions to be asked. You must not even ask that Sheesh Mahal to bana diya, par Delhi ko gutter kyun banaya? Navika ji, please change the top line. You have to say Modi has done everything. Modi ne pani choda, Mr. Kejriwal ne to London bana diya tha. ये केजरीवाल जी ने पेरिस बना दिया था. ये मोदी जी की साजिश है, इन्होंने इसको वेनिस बना दिया. प्लीज ब्लेम मिस्टर मोदी. करेक्ट ना मिस्टर मुनी? मिस्टर सुमन सी रमन करेक्ट बोला ना? सही बोला ना? प्लीज प्लीज, आपका काम मैंने ही कर दिया आज, आपका सारा काम मैंने कर दिया।
आकाशदीप
आज
पुनी
भाजपा नहीं कर दिया आपका काम।
आकाशदीप पुनी,
आज जब पूरी दिल्ली एक आपदा से जूझ रही है, आप सार्कज्म पे भरोसा,
आपदा का नाम अरविंद केजरीवाल है जी,
आप
आपदा ही अरविंद केजरीवाल है।
आप सार्कज्म करिए, हम काम करेंगे, आम आदमी पार्टी काम करेगी।
काम तो दिख रहा है, गजब काम है।
आप लुटियंस दिल्ली में रहते हैं, आप आराम से।
मैं लुटियंस दिल्ली में नहीं रहता हूँ, मैं एमसीडी के द्वारा संचालित दिल्ली में ही रहता हूँ महाशय। मैं लुटियंस दिल्ली का निवासी नहीं हूँ, पता कर लीजिए थोड़ा।
रूट पे काम करने के लिए चीफ मिनिस्टर साहब और उसकी पूरी असेंबली ग्रास रूट पे है। आपके मनोहर लाल खट्टर कहीं पे ग्रास रूट पे नहीं दिखे। मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, ये तो बहुत अच्छा सवाल आपने पूछा और हिंदी में भी बोल रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़िया, अच्छा हुआ आप कटहल नहीं गए। आज एक महिला जो इतनी हताश हो गई थी मनोहर लाल खट्टर जी से कि नहीं, जब उनके एमएलए वहां पे पहुंचे, आपके गठबंधन सरकार के एमएलए वहां पे पहुंचे तो उनको थप्पड़ मार दिया कि नहीं अब क्यों आ रहे, जब सब कुछ तहस नहस हो गया, 16 लोगों का देहांत हो गया हरियाणा में, अम्बाला।
पढ़ लीजिए पहले, फिर बोलिए। ये स्क्रिप्ट जो भेजी है पढ़ लीजिए उसको ठीक से। मुनि जी वो स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ लो फिर बोलो। मुझे दिख रहा है आप स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ रहे हैं, पढ़ लीजिए उसको। और क्या क्या उसमें, और किसको दोष देना है? मोदी जी, अमित शाह जी, खट्टर जी,
पढ़ लेते हैं,
योगी जी को भी दोष दे दो।
नहीं है
सर, योगी जी को दोष नहीं दिया
मेरे पास टैग नहीं है
सर, योगी जी को दोष नहीं दिया।
नाउ लेट्स टॉक समथिंग सीरियस टुडे।
नहीं, you blame फडणवीस जी also. कैसे छूट गया फडणवीस?
The most important point here is that I am talking about there has been an allegation made that desilting has not been done of the Delhi. The Delhi drains were totally prepared for the monsoon rains. 95% of desilting has been done. 165 water-logging hotspots has been identified. 128 power pumps has been installed. 11 were fully automatic. Now let me go.
Fantastic. सब कुछ हो गया. Everything was done. Clearly, what we are seeing is not flooding. We are not seeing water. Actually, it is our eyes playing tricks with us because everything has been done. Everything has been done. Abhishek Dutt ji, everything has been done. Mr. Modi has desilted the Yamuna. Yamuna water is clean for drinking. All the drains have been cleaned. Everything was done. I don't know why political parties like the Congress and the BJP are asking questions and being sarcastic. Abhishek Dutt?
Vikajay, one thing I would like to correct you. The cost of Sheesh Mahal is not 50 crore, this 160 crore. 21 government houses attached around Arvind Kejriwalji's houses were knocked off, and the government had to buy 21 apartments in Commonwealth Village at the cost of 6 crore rupees each. So please add the figure of 120 crore rupees along with Sheesh Mahal. First point, coming back to the topic of the debate today. My friend from Aam Aadmi Party has been reading a script. Can I ask him on your TV channels? Does he know how many drains there are in Delhi? Which are the 3 main drains giving water into Yamuna? Can he answer one basic question? There are 211 drainage system in Delhi that connects to Yamuna. One comes from Nazafgarh, one comes from Barapola, and one comes from Trans Yamuna. Out of 211 drains, 26 drains are encroached that don't work. In 2012, Sheila Dixit ji had asked IIT to give a report regarding drainage system of Delhi. After 6 years, Mr. Kejriwal woke up. 2018, he had the meeting and hired the consultant. Until today, he has done nothing about it. So let him, and also for the first time in the history of, one second, let me complete. Can I please complete? One second. Can I complete? No, one second. Don't read a script. Listen, talk on fact.
No, I'm not reading. You are reading the script.
On your website, you removed the option. On your website, you removed the option to check the status of drains.
People have been.
No, you removed the PWD status. Go to the website. Every year, PWD give the status of drains. Can you go to the website and check?
Okay, if my voice is hired, then I will speak.
Let me complete, then you speak.
Akashdeep Puni, Abhishek Dutt is somebody who's seen in every colony, and he does his homework, not just, theoretically. He's somebody who's seen in various colonies working there. So you would do well to first listen to him before you respond to him. Go on, Abhishek.
My last point is on 8 July. This is the status of Aam Aadmi Party on their website and on Twitter. It says Metro Bridge is running absolutely fine. I went to Metro Bridge myself at 2:30 along with media. Metro Bridge was closed. They were fooling the people of Delhi on Twitter, saying Metro Bridge is functioning absolutely fine using old images. And this is, if you go into the screenshot, if you go into the Twitter timeline of Aam Aadmi Party right now, you can see how they fool the people of Delhi. The problem is, after they got exposed, Mr. Kejriwal asked his entire ministry to come on board. These people should have been working before the drains. Why are the ministers sitting and getting photos clicked today? If they were working for the last 2 months, this
well said.
would have not come in.
Good question. Do you want to answer that, Suman C. Raman?
Look, Navika, it's very, very unfortunate that an opportunity to try to come up with constructive suggestions to prevent this happening again is being squandered merely to score political points against Arvind Kejriwal. Look, no political party in none of the states, none of the ruling parties has covered itself in glory in the last few days, whether it is a Congress government in Himachal, whether it is Kejriwal in Delhi, whether it is a BJP government in Haryana, or even for that matter in parts of northern Uttar Pradesh. So I think that we can do two things. We can do this kind of a show where everybody points fingers at each other and says that you did this, you opened the sluice gates in Haryana, somebody else says, no, it came from Himachal, and then you say Kejriwal shouldn't have done this, Kejriwal shouldn't have done that. Or you can have a constructive debate as to how this should be.
Like Kejriwal was having constructive debate during COVID, wasn't he?
I don't see any an iota.
Kejriwal was having a very constructive debate in COVID when he was playing pure politics and the courts called him out.
Beyond sarcastically saying.
No, sir, I am saying today it is all Mr. Modi's fault. Haryana se pani choda hai, bhai. Himachal se pani aaya hai is not a matter of my opinion, it is a fact.
I am glad you did.
Himachal's pani, because that barrage starts from that place. And Bhakra's water goes into that barrage. It is not a subjective opinion of Shehzad Poonawala that barrage is carrying the water of Himachal and Punjab. It is not my opinion, it is a fact. You don't know the topography of Delhi. You don't know the topography of the river system here. You are in Chennai.
As you usually do.
You are in Chennai.
No, at least.
You don't know what is the situation here.
I have seen 2015
Kindly stop
floods.
spin doctoring.
This is nothing compared to the
you
2015 floods.
Knee level water. We are.
Hundreds of people died. I have seen floods far worse than this, sir. I'm sorry.
So fantastic. We should wait for another flood which is far worse than this before we raise a question. If that is your solution, then Dr. Suman C. Raman, I don't know. Let's hear what people have to say, because we're opening the call lines and our viewers are calling in. Raman calling in from New Delhi and Mr. Vadva calling in from Pune. Raman, good evening. What do you think? Who's at fault?
See, Navika, unfortunately, I was personally witnessed and experienced the floods way back in 1978 also, when water entered my house. Now, I am shocked at one particular point. Leave aside everything else. I remember in 1978, when we did not have an iota of the kind of technology which is available today at the government's disposal, the kind of social media platforms available to inform. I remember 1978 May, we were constantly being updated through radio. Even radio messages being flying ki pani aane wala hai. I remember Shah Alam Band. I still remember I was in class 8 that time. Shah Alam Band toota hai. Yahan colonies mein pani aayega. We were specifically told in advance. And I am shocked to hear and plight of the people who say that there was no warning given, there was no this thing given. And way back in 1978, without any technology, simple radio messages were being flashed almost every hour. And we were mentally prepared, although psychologically nobody believed kitna pani aa sakta at that time. And I remember, but we were constantly updated.
Absolutely.
Now,
and there you have, people saying that they had no warning. Some people coming out in the clothes they were wearing. Some people have lost all their belongings. But Dilip Cherian, are these questions that we can even bother to ask? Because there's a blame game, and I can tell you, today Dr. Sumant C. Raman believes that everybody should get together, find solutions. But let me tell you what Mr. Satyendra Jain, the PWD minister, had said earlier. He said MCDs have around 98% of Delhi's drains under their jurisdiction, but the BJP is indulging in a money-making policy instead of providing better civic services to the people. This is what they said then. And in 2021, Arvind Kejriwal himself said, we have said it earlier as well, the drainage system throughout Delhi needs to be fixed. We got this drainage system as a gift from previous government and it needs to be fixed. Now he has the state for the last 9 years and the drainage system along with the MCD. But what are we seeing?
Unless we want to all reduce ourselves to drain inspectors, we need to recognize that there is a problem for the citizen of Delhi. And the citizen of Delhi must and will blame the government of Delhi. Is the government of Delhi the only one to blame? Whatever you may say, the surrounding states, like in the case of pollution, have a role to play, and we all know what role has been played there. Has Delhi been the only city to be inundated? We know that is not true, because just 3 days ago, Gurgaon decided that everybody would work from home because Gurgaon was flooded. There is no point worrying about us being a X trillion economy if we can't fix our cities. We know two things, Navika. One, that leaders who live in ivory houses need to wake up and see the water and experience it. The leaders should be wading among the people and making sure that there is some level of comfort and succor provided to them. It is not worth, unless you think that the debate and the heat generated will evaporate the water, it does not make sense to just stick to blame game. It also does not make any sense to give constructive solutions, because after all governments know everything. Sab jante hain. And they, along with us in the media, will forget about this as soon as the water is received, without making sure that we hold our leaders accountable. We hold them accountable to what they have promised, but that is not enough. To what the citizens deserve. We are talking of millions of tax-paying individuals who have had to suffer grave consequences because their governments have failed them. It does not matter who, but we do need to make sure that when the time comes, which is rarely and only once in 5 years, to press that button, people recognize the leaders who failed them.
Well said. Well said. I'm coming to you, Shehzad.
20 seconds. Navika, you know this new trend has started. Navika, new trend has started. When it is the BJP's duty, blame BJP. But when it is our duty, blame all. Everyone is responsible. Sir, with all due respect, 1 second. We are asking some specific questions. 72 hours for evacuation, what did you do? Desilting of drains was supposed to be done by June. How many % you did? Yamuna cleaning, 20 तक होनी थी, नो आंसर. पैरेलल नाला बनाने वाले थे आप, वर्ल्ड क्लास ड्रेनेज सिस्टम बनाने वाले थे, नो आंसर. 2018 की जो रिपोर्ट अभिषेक ने बताई है, 2018 IIT Delhi has given you a report. Where is it implemented? Delhi government बताइए. We don't have a master plan for the sewerage from 45 lakh pollution population. It's come to 2.5 crore. And lastly, one last point, Navika. Gurugram की समस्या. 1 second, Mr. Muni. Gurugram gets the water that comes from Badshahpur, it goes to Najafgarh. Because Najafgarh is not clean, that water is making Millennial City a hell. So it is Mr. Kejriwal's fault that Haryana is suffering, not the other way around. But facts are not facts on this show. This is the problem. Water is coming from Himachal, you are blaming Haryana.
Now don't blame the show, please, because the show knows. The show knows and is showing the plight of the common people, and those are the people calling in. Vadva from Pune, Sridhar from Hyderabad, NR Prasad calling in from Bengaluru. Let me go across the caller from Pune. Are you facing similar problems in your city, or do you think Delhi is setting the bar high for other cities?
No, madam. I've seen Bombay, I've seen Pune, I've seen everything. Delhi, this is on a larger scale, but Bombay is every year. Please. So that gentleman who's supposed to be an IIT this thing, graduate, why did he not implement, as I read in the Times today, center page article, why did he not implement the IIT Delhi?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You need to turn down the volume of your television set, but very, very well said. What about our IIT educated Chief Minister? A report from IIT is gathering dust somewhere. Sridhar calling in from Hyderabad. Good evening, Sridhar. Same problems?
Good evening, Ms. Navika. Good evening. Ma'am, the real records, for a while, if we forget about all this, the real records are the records which have been set are a person comes with Hawaii slipper, loots 52 crores, sends in namune ministers or representatives like Muni, Dr. Muni, and they just continue to fool us around with meaningless results. Not just Muni alone. I would also blame Shehzad and others in the panel. If I may ask, what did Shehzad or BJP really did to coordinate with AAP and then ensure that these problems doesn't occur? Nothing. No, everyone comes here and then battles out. The biggest record is people here stoop to a very serious levels, which are the new records. And this will continue. You continue to see. Continue to keep seeing.
That's the frustration of the common man. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Prasad from Bengaluru. What do you think, and who's your question to?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Prasad.
I'm calling from Bangalore. My name is N.R. Prasad.
Yes, sir.
My question is, similar things happened in Bangalore too, but last monsoon I'm talking about when the BJP was holding the government. They did a wonderful thing. They did a wonderful job, and all that evacuated the people wherever the excess amount of water accumulated, everything has been done. My question to the AAP representative is first Shahi Mahal is safe? If the Shahi Mahal is safe, then the rest of the Delhi will be safe. That's what I want to ask him.
Okay.
Because even in the COVID time also, first the Shahi Mahal to be taken care. Then the public comes rest. In the remaining part of, if the time is left, workforce is left, then AAP will do a job for this one. But priority is Shahi Mahal. Building the Shahi Mahal is more important for them. This is my opinion from Bangalore.
Well said, Mr. Prasad. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Joshi also calling in from Bengaluru. Yes, Mr. Joshi, go on.
Yes. Hi, good evening all.
Hi.
See, my question is, when it comes to BJP, state, and everybody, the Aam Aadmi Party is ready to raise the questions. When it comes to them, they want to say that we are on the ground, we are working. When it happened in Bangalore, the gentleman just talked before, so it happened in Bangalore. We were seeing boats, we were seeing rescuing, people were there rescuing people. I don't see anybody on this. Nobody is rescuing anybody. I don't see anybody on this, like a policeman or a rescue team or something. Nothing has been arranged. And Aam Party is really...
Delhi citizens, sir, are Atmanirbhar. They take care of themselves because nobody comes to their rescue. But Sanjeev Kaushik, would you want to respond? Would you want to respond? Because Bengaluru people are calling in and saying that they saw some evacuation warnings, everything. Even the gentleman who said in 1978 the radios were used to try and warn people. But today, nothing of the sort. But of course, we are IIT educated, and we love to say we are more educated than the others.
नविका जी, लोग अपने अपने तरीके से अपनी अपनी प्रतिक्रियाएं दे रहे हैं, हमें इससे कोई एतराज नहीं है। लेकिन जिस तरह से इस संकट की घड़ी में भारतीय जनता पार्टी और कांग्रेस पार्टी बैठ करके स्टूडियो में राजनीति कर रही है, ये बेहद शर्मनाक है। मैं मूल मुद्दे पे आता हूँ। सारे लोग जानते हैं और दिल्ली की जनता भी जानती है कि पिछले 2 दशकों में इतनी बारिश नहीं हुई जो 2-3 दिन पहले बारिश हुई थी। पिछले 4.5 दशकों में दिल्ली के यमुना का स्तर इतना नहीं बढ़ा था जितना बढ़ा हुआ आज दिखाई देता है। हमें ये कहने में कोई गुरेज नहीं है कि लोग तकलीफ में हैं, लेकिन यह बात भी सही है कि जब दूसरे स्टेट से पानी आएगी, छोड़े जाएंगे, तो निश्चित तौर पे दिल्ली से होते हुए निकलेंगी और दिल्ली निचले स्तर के या निचले जगहों पे पानी भरेंगे ही भरेंगे। इस मामले में हरियाणा के ही यदि मुख्यमंत्री से आज बात की गई तो उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे पास ये हथनी कुंड बैराज में पानी रोकने के लिए ऐसी कोई सिस्टम है ही नहीं, यदि हम रोकते हैं तो हमारे यहाँ खतरा बढ़ जाएगा। तो जाहिर सी बात है वो अपना खतरा दिल्ली को ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं, इसके बारे में कोई बात नहीं।
क्या बोले जा रहे हैं?
रही बात दिल्ली के बारे में और दिल्ली के ड्रेनेज सिस्टम के
अरे IIT वाली पार्टी,
मैं तो
बराज पानी रोकने के लिए होता ही नहीं है। जरा आप, ये हरियाणा ने स्पेशल केस नहीं किया पानी छोड़ के,
शहजाद भाई,
बराज में पानी रुकता नहीं है। वहां से कहां से आप लोग पढ़ लिख कर आए हैं? ये कौन सा IIT का डिग्री है आपके पास भाई? IIT का नाम बदनाम कर दोगे। बराज और बांध में अंतर तो पहले तय कर लो। आप कह रहे कि नहीं खट्टर जी को मन में आ गया कि नहीं हमें पानी नहीं रोकना है, तो रोकने छोड़ दिया पानी। वो पानी रुकता नहीं है बराज में। आप क्या प्रस्तुत कर रहे हैं जनता को?
Well, let me also get in Anu Lal, founder of Yoga Smith. Anu Lal, आम आदमी पार्टी को तो कुछ मत बोलो, as the gentleman from Bengaluru was saying. Sheesh Mahal, very important. COVID times, trees were felled, Dior marble was got, and a palace was constructed. But obviously, there is shortage of budgets. There is a problem in getting people for cleaning drains, desilting Yamuna. So we should not be asking any questions. Where do you stand? I mean, of course, it's no time to do a blame game. But shouldn't questions be asked?
Navika, thank you for getting me here. I don't speak for AAP, I don't speak for Congress or BJP. I'm a normal human being, an armed citizen whose house gets flooded every year. And for many, many years, I've been making videos about it without being heard. I think what I want to say here is, I'll take just a minute because I know this debate is very heated. Mother Nature is shouting at us that, obey my rules. And we are not obeying her rules, rather flouting them at an institutional level. If Delhi is felling trees, Haryana, Himachal is also felling the same trees. Uttarakhand is responsible for the same. We see those trees coming down. Haryana is blocking the johars. Bangalore is, clogging their lakes. Bombay mein Meethi river blocked hai. I think at some level we need to turn the responsibility on the cadre of officials who are trained to do this. Town and country planners who are trained to do this job, engineering services who are hired to train this to do this job. But for some reason we don't make them responsible. There's a huge cadre of civil servants who are neither accountable, ना कोई डर है, ना कोई punishment है for something like that happens. If you and I do a bad job, we would be thrown out of our companies, right? But there is a permanent cadre of officers, कैसी भी performance हो, they are there permanently. So, like we face 360-degree appraisals. Why am I not able to appraise my bureaucrat, my DM, my councillor, that, okay, you've done a bad job, dismiss or, nilambit kar de service.
Fair point. Fair point. Is that doable?
At the end of the day, the people responsible for running this are civil servants.
So you hold the civil servant responsible?
If we are discussing all these good ideas, why not?
Okay, good idea. Who will implement this? But, on the point where many people came out and said that why are people not sitting together and finding a way to help each other instead of the blame game? Abhishek Dutt, I can see a tweet by you posted at around 5 o'clock this evening where you have actually invited the Aam Aadmi Party that your team of people can help them. Have you got a call? Did they seek your help?
Not from Mr. Kejriwal, but a lot of people who are staying around that area, and our team have been present on ground. Navika ji, just two things I want to tell you how the system used to work during Sheila ji's time. I was a young corporator when Sheila ji was a CM. In the month of April, she used to preside a meeting by herself where 5 corporations of Delhi along with Jal Board were called. And a task report was made. RWs had to give a letter to the councillor and to the local DC saying that the drains have been desilted. Everything was put on record, and by July, entire setup and preparation for rains were made. But I'm very sorry to say that last 6-7 years, Nothing has happened on ground besides advertisement. केजरीवाल जी को ये पता होता है कि मनीष सिसोदिया के घर में आईटी की या मनीष सिसोदिया के घर में ईडी की रेड पड़ने वाली है, परंतु सिसोदिया जी को ये नहीं पता होता कि बारिशों में दिल्ली में बाढ़ आ सकती है. I want to ask them, 1 week before the rains, where were the councillors of Aam Aadmi Party? The mayor was not even in Delhi.
The ground.
They were on the ground clicking photos, not working for the people. Where was the mayor? Your mayor was not even
Respond. And Mr. Abhishek Dutt has even tagged the Aam Aadmi Party. If you want everybody to come together and solve problems, why don't you contact people who are willing to stand with you? That's the question. Mr. Modi.
Okay. Yeah, Navika ji. First and foremost, Yamuna has touched this particular level and haven't touched this particular level in last 45 years. So it's because of a natural calamity. You have to understand this.
And let me speak.
Abhishek ji, let me speak. Now let me speak.
What happened on Saturday? When you were saying Minto Bridge is working and your Minto Bridge is working. What happened?
Please stop, Heckler. Mr. Heckler, please stop. Mr. Heckler, please stop.
I'm not Mr. Kejriwal.
The point I want to make is that today, while all the councillors, all the ministers of Aam Aadmi Party are on ground, I want to ask, where are the members of parliament? Members of parliament today, are they on ground? Where is Meenakshi Lekhi? Where is Parvesh?
So now where is Meenakshi Lekhi? All right, Shehzad,
मैं जवाब देता हूँ. कैमरामैन जरा जूम कीजिए. मुनि जी की आत्मा को तृप्त करता हूँ मैं थोड़ा सा. मुनि जी की आत्मा को तृप्त करता हूँ मैं, तो प्रमाण लेकर घूमता हूँ. एक सेकंड जरा जूम कीजिए. कैमरा 3, ओ कैमरा जूम कीजिए. जूम करो. इन्होंने सवाल पूछा है हमारे सांसद कहाँ थे. मुनि जी अब थोड़ा वॉल्यूम डाउन कीजिए और आंखें खोल दीजिए. अरे जूम कीजिए. ये है मनोज तिवारी, सांसद है, खाना बांट रहा है. क्यों दिल्ली सरकार ने खाना नहीं बांटा? ये है हमारे सांसद गौतम गंभीर, ये भी सड़क पे थे. ये है फिर से हमारी भाजपा की फूड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सर्विसेज. ये है वीरेंद्र सचदेवा, कंधे पर राशन बांट रहे थे, घर घर तक जा रहे थे. केजरीवाल की तरह एक फोटो अप करके नहीं आए. ये है हर्षवर्धन जी, नाव पे बैठे थे, पूर्व केंद्रीय मंत्री है, नाव पर बैठकर मुआयना कर रहे थे. जहां घर तक नहीं पहुंचे केजरीवाल वहां गए. ये है हमारे सांसद. ये है हंसराज हंस, ये भी अपने इलाके में थे. ये है बिदुड़ी जी, ये भी नाव में थे, जिनको बचाना था अपनी नाव लेकर गए थे. माशा हमसे मत पूछेगा. दूसरी बात नाविका जी, मैं आज स्पष्ट तरीके से पूछना चाहता हूं कि आज यमुना की जो बहाव की कैपेसिटी है और जो बेड है उसको एनक्रोच किसने करवाया 9 साल में? इन लोगों ने, और उससे पहले इनकी सरकारों ने, जो चला रहे 25 साल से सरकार. ये यमुना का जो स्तर होता था पानी होल्ड करने का, ये कम हुआ है क्योंकि इन्होंने एनक्रोचमेंट करवाया. दूसरा, desilting, how much desilting you have done through MCD? No answer. In 72 hours, where were the 1,000 pumps that BJP left for you? No answer. 2015 you said water conservation के लिए we will do rain harvesting. Where is that rain harvesting? No answer. Blame Modi ji, blame LG, blame MP. अपने ऊपर कोई ब्लेम नहीं लेना है जी. कोई ब्लेम नहीं लेना है. आपको तो केवल स्विमिंग पूल बनाकर तैरना है शीश महल में, और कोई ब्लेम नहीं लेना है.
Well, let me get in the callers who are calling in. Dr. Mithilesh Mishra from Mumbai, Mohan Gohar calling in from Surat, Nitin calling in from Gurugram. Going across to Mr. Mishra. Mr. Mishra, what do you think? Are political parties like Mr. Kejriwal's party running away from taking any onus on themselves and being accountable?
गुड इवनिंग नाविका मैम एंड थैंक यू. सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि आपने एक इतना पढ़ा लिखा IIT चीफ मिनिस्टर, उससे आप उम्मीद कर रहे हैं कि वो गटर, ड्रेन या नाले को साफ करेगा? अरे वो तो पढ़ा लिखा है भाई. वो पढ़ा लिखा इसलिए कि उसको कुछ काम न करना पड़े. गटर साफ करने के लिए, ड्रेन साफ करने के लिए मोदी है, जिनको बोलते हैं कच्चा पढ़ा हुआ राजा. तो आप आम आदमी पार्टी वालों से काम की उम्मीद कर रही है, अपने आप में कितनी शर्म की बात है. और
माफ कीजिए, गलती हो गई मुझसे मिश्रा जी.
हाँ मैम,
गलती हो गई.
जी, तो मुझे लगता है कि काम करने के लिए तो देश ने देश के राजा को चुना है, मोदी या बीजेपी वालों को। बाकी विपक्ष वालों को तो सिर्फ ये कहना है कि हमको पढ़े लिखे हैं, कुछ काम नहीं करना है। एंड इसके अलावा और कुछ बोलना नहीं मैम। वो पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, वो आईआईटी इंजीनियर हैं, कैसे कुछ काम करेगा? वो पढ़े लिखे इसीलिए कि उनको काम न करना पड़े।
Well said, Mishra ji. Thank you for joining us. Nitin, what's your view? You'll have to, all the callers, please, mute your television sets, otherwise we will not be able to hear you. Well, Mandeep calling in from Guwahati. Good evening, Mandeep. What's your question and what do you think? Who's to blame?
Hello, Navika ji. 2 points. First and foremost, don't invite the fury of Mother Nature. Mat khile. And she has given us quite a big signal during COVID. Post-COVID, हम फिर भी नहीं सीख रहे हैं. So it's high time we learn. Next, coming down to AAP. I have seen AAP since 2011, and I left. I was with India Against Corruption. I left the day they formed the party, and I very well knew it. They are only bhashans and only dialogues and only blame game, and always with photographs and theatrics. And now coming down to it, citing an example. Our CM, Himanta Biswa Sarma ji, today tweeted that tomorrow from Bhutan, water will be released. So he has already given a signal to everyone to be alert and instructed his departments and authorities to help out. So this is the way how it is taken care of. And Aam Aadmi Party, take it in writing. एक इलेक्शन अगली बार और जीत के दिखा दो आप लोग. Take it in writing. जीत के दिखा दो आप लोग.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Navika.
Thank you very much, sir. And Suman C. Raman, that's somebody who's been with India Against Corruption. Seems extremely cynical. Extremely cynical today.
Yeah, Navika, I don't... Look, the point is, again, we are getting into a blame game without doing anything constructive. What is the point going on saying Delhi government should have done that, BJP government in Haryana should have done this? I mean, it does not solve any purpose. Urban planners should sit together, whether it is through the neighboring state governments.
बेंगलुरु का डिबेट में इनको बुलाया था इन्होंने हमारी सरकार को दोष दिया for a problem of wetlands being encroached by Congress.
You know, in the last 1 year, they've had their hands full defending their ministers from the ED.
Oh.
So
that is the...
So they were defending their ministers from ED, and that's why drains were not cleaned. Dilip Cherian, now will you buy that explanation, Dilip Cherian? I mean, they really...
The fact is that whatever we may say, the number of callers who have talked about the fury of Mother Nature should be a lesson to all governments. At the point in time when we are saying, oh, we are entitled to spew pollution, to cut trees because we have a nation that needs to develop, this is a big message. Let us not take this lightly. This is not going to be the last of the floods. This may have been the worst of the floods in 40 years, but the next one is going to be a bigger deluge. The fact is,
and in the meanwhile, we should blame everybody else, not the government that is in power. Is that the solution?
Just one line. When the floods happened in Bengaluru, which was because of the wetlands being encroached because of the previous governments, what they allowed, that time it was BJP civic mess. Channel ka bada title, channel and all these so-called analysts, fly-by-night analysts, all of them said BJP civic mess. And today, let's blame Mother Nature. Oh, let's get all the urban planners together. ये urban planners सब साथ आएंगे और solution देंगे. And they were busy defending the corruption. How could they have focused on drains? This hypocrisy is the reason why the accountability is not being fixed. What they were supposed to do, Delhi Jal Board, Delhi PWD, Sarkar, and the government is all theirs. What are you waiting for? You had to clean drains. You had to build an alternative sewerage master plan, and you had to ensure Yamuna is clean.
And
you didn't do it, and Dilip Cherian will blame all of us.
We've got the master plan right here, and I've just sent out a tweet to my team. If we can take that on screen, you know, this is the latest that is coming in from a senior leader of the Aam Aadmi Party. If we can just take this tweet now. You know, we should be asking questions because Aam Aadmi Party Delhi has tweeted, क्या दिल्ली वालों को डुबाकर मारने की साजिश कर रही है बीजेपी? हथिनी कुंड के पास रहने वाले व्यक्ति ने वीडियो शेयर करके बताया कि एक नहर उत्तर प्रदेश की तरफ है जो पूरी तरह सूखी है, लेकिन हथिनी कुंड का सारा पानी दिल्ली की ओर मोड़ दिया गया, जिससे दिल्ली में बाढ़ की स्थिति बन गई है. Now, that is the tweet. Sharif, if we can take the, if we can just put that tweet on air. This video has been tweeted by Advocate Somnath Bharti.
एडवोकेट सोमनाथ भारती जी, अपनी अज्ञानता के डेप्थ का परिचय मत दीजिए. हथनी कुंड में पानी हरियाणा का पानी मोदी जी नहीं डाल रहे वहां पे. हिमाचल और बाकरा पंजाब से वो पानी आता है. आप छोड़ दीजिए हमें, हम तो बड़े लुच्चे हैं, हम तो साजिश कर रहे हैं. पंजाब और हिमाचल को बोल दीजिए ना पानी रोक ले. भाई पंजाब और हिमाचल को बोलो पानी रोक दे. हरियाणा पे निर्भर ही मत रहो, बराज पे निर्भर ही मत रहो. ये किस प्रकार की राजनीति है?
Is it true now the party that is expecting everyone to come together is saying that this is a conspiracy by the BJP? And that it could have been diverted towards UP and UP could have drowned.
We are missing, you know, we are missing a very main point in this debate. The fight between the LG and the Delhi government and now MCD. Who are the people who are suffering? Navika ji, 42 crore rupees. If you remember Art of Living program at the bed of Yamuna, the permission given by the then government, in which the NGT had directed that 42 crore rupees have to be deposited to restore the beds of Yamuna after the Art of Living program, presided by the local ex-MP of that time from Bharatiya Janata Party, whose ticket was finally cut, and Gautam Gambhir has come in. During that event and after that event, the entire beds of Yamuna were destroyed. Not even once the Delhi government, DDA or MCD pursued to get the money back.
Well, there are conspiracies of Mother Nature, conspiracies of political parties, but where does that leave the citizens of India? Well, just stranded. Whether on the streets or in their homes, they stay stranded and possibly stranded forever. That is the answer we get from our lawmakers, we get from those who actually should be accountable to you and me. Ladies and gentlemen, we pay our taxes, we work very hard, but at the end of the day, what do we get? Why do we have to suffer this is a question we will continue to raise till at least somebody feels the need to be accountable. We'll continue to raise these questions and be your voice, viewers and citizens of India. Thank you very much to all panelists joining me on debate number 1.